Just give me a second. If you were to ask me what Veterans Day is supposed to mean to me when I was younger, I'm not sure I could have told you. But after experiencing what it's like to have my real father serve in the Air Force, my stepfather served in the Marines, and also both my grandfathers served in the Army many years ago, has made me realize just what it is. For everyone, Veterans Day usually hits a certain spot in our hearts. Whether it's a close family member, a friend, or a random soldier you've seen on the street, their presence has opened our minds and our hearts to a different type of appreciation for what they do for this country. They're willing to sacrifice their lives for all of us. They're people they've never met before, each and every one of us. They provide for our futures and for the common good. We sometimes take for granted just what exactly these men and women do for us. They leave their homes and their families, some miss countless things, not only in their families' lives, but in their children's lives as well. They can't always be there for holidays and birthdays and anniversaries, yet for some unselfish reason they risk their lives in countries near and far. But what about when their lives do come to an end? We've never met those superhero-like people. We only see a name, a unit, and an age. We fail to see their life besides the service, and we never know what their future could have been. When someone gives you a gift, they usually expect a thank you, maybe a hug and a kiss on the cheek, or even a card. But they don't do it for the gratitude or the glory. They don't do it for money and the fancy medals blend side by side into the uniforms. They just do it anyways. Veterans Day shouldn't be the only day we say thank you to them. It should be any time you see a soldier. They don't have to be in uniform or at a ball. It can be any time. I read this story the other day of a man and his wife who had gone out to eat. They were spending their last couple of days together before the man was to be deployed. As the waiter brought the check, a man came up to the table and said, "Don't worry about the check. This is my way of saying thank you for your service." The couple didn't know this man, and the husband wasn't dressed in uniform, but the man played a simple gesture for what the husband was willing to do for his country. The man was in shock. He had served in the military for almost 10 years, and that was the first time someone had told him thank you. The wife was in tears. As the couple left, she saw the man leaving in his car, and he waved his hand, and with an effortless smile tagged along with it. The wife knew there were still some good people left out there. Being a part of the military doesn't mean you're always the one in uniform. Sometimes it just means that a part of your heart lies within it as well. There's nothing harder to do than send off the person you love, not knowing whether or not they are to return. As a young child, although I didn't know my father well at the time, waiting for him to come home was a feeling I will never forget. I used to constantly ask when he would be home. Weeks had passed, and I remember being upstairs when the doorbell rang. My mom came upstairs to tell me the tragic news. My very own dad had been killed in a plane accident while returning from training in Florida. After my father had passed, I would always wonder why he would risk his life for us, why he'd leave us for weeks training for a country that tries to make their men so strong but leave their loved ones so weak. Veterans Day is about recognizing and thanking those who have fought for our country dead and alive. We should also thank those families who have been blessed enough to have such devoted and selfless people in their lives, because if it weren't for their freedom, our freedom wouldn't be anywhere near free as it is today.